Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Journaling Through Life Home Edition. Today, we have an extra special guest. Her name is Paras. She is a yoga instructor and an Ayurvedic practitioner. Paras, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored. Thanks for having me.
Now, we have chatted a little bit about Ayurvedic and what it means. Now, if I were a person and I've never heard of it before, how would you explain what you do?
Yeah, sure. So Ayurveda is the word Ayu means life, and Veda means knowledge. So it's basically knowledge of life. And the foundation of it comes from thousands of years of the rishis teaching all these old philosophies and stories and medicine to their students, and then their students learning, and at some point about 4,000 years ago they started writing it down. So that's how we have the information today, and they come in a form of slogans. So it's kind of like poems, little poems that tell you what to do about life. And so, what is life? What is Ayu? Ayu is, according to Ayurveda, it's founded on four pillars. So, the pillar number one is your Atman, or your soul. Pillar number two is the Manas, or the mind. And then three is the Indriyas, or the senses, the five sense organs. And then the last thing is the Sharira, or the physical body. So the philosophy is that when these four elements are working together in harmony, the person has wholeness. They have full well-being and health. If one of these elements doesn't work properly, we're in trouble.
Right.
So that is basically the foundation of it. The important part is that the indriyas, or the five sense organs, are the only connection we have with our internal body and our external world. So through the five sense organs, we connect to our external world. Otherwise, we would just be conscious awareness sitting in the corner. So it's the whole science is wrapped around telling us ways to really support our five sense organs so that we can create balance between that internal self and our external universe.
I love that. And especially in this time where, our external universe is somewhat scary, it's somewhat crazy. We're in a very much of an unknown space. So I'm thinking, like, especially now, having that internal balance is so important. Now, how would I know if I'm out of balance?
So, one of the ways that you can kind of test yourself and see how you feel and where you're standing is noticing your thoughts. So, just knowing that the mind, which is the second pillar in Ayurveda, is different than who you really are. Sometimes in the West, we mix the two. So, the who we really are is this conscious awareness sitting behind our mind and telling our mind is like an organ, and it's a beautiful organ that can do really great things for us. But when it's in power and it's disconnected from our consciousness, it can be a very dangerous thing. So why is it that some people, can say, okay, you know what? I know what's good for me and what's bad for me. I know sugar is bad for me. Smoking is bad for me. I know this good food is good for me. So I'm going to follow that and do that. And some people know that, but they're unable to do it. They just keep going with these habitual patterns. The reason is the strength of our mind and the connection we have between our mind and our consciousness. So what can we do to create connection? We are born with that connection already. So that conscious awareness, you can see it in babies. They're born and they already know, they know that the mother's milk is good for them. They latch on and they drink it. We don't sit them down and say, hey, little baby, did you know that this milk has vitamin D and it has nutrition and you need to drink it? They already know. That knowing awareness is our consciousness. We all have that inside of us. We have that knowledge, that awareness that tells us this is the right thing for you and this is not. do this, don't do that. But sometimes we lose connection with that. That's when we're in trouble. So, how can we make connection to that? We can do that through our five sense organs. So if our, outside world is not going well, or if it's causing us stress and anxiety, one of the best things that we can do is create an external world that can really soothe the senses, the sense organs. I like doing that by, thinking my eyes. What are my eyes seeing? Ayurveda says food is not just something you put in your mouth. Food is everything that goes in through your five sense organs. So, what your eyes see, what you smell, what you taste, what you hear, and what you touch is all ahara or food. And so, what are the foods that you're feeding yourself? We all have a choice. For me, it's like waking up and having a ritual that really allows me to find my groundedness. So maybe lighting up a candle, just having a candle right in the kitchen burning while I prepare breakfast. Maybe having an incense burning so that there's a nice smell and nice aura in the room. And maybe not turning on the news first thing in the morning, because news is always, my teacher Jack Kronfeld always says, turn the news off, put on some Mozart.
I,
So
I
yeah,
love it.
so like, what are you listening to? We are very sensitive beings. Anything that is in our environment, we become that. So listening to some classical music or some chanting or whatever you that calms your nervous system. So all of these things come together to create calm, to create groundedness. And then the last thing is, what are we actually putting in our mouth? A lot of people are really aware of the way they eat nowadays. They tend to be healthier, make healthier choices. So why not make those healthier choices with also the sense organs? What they see, what they hear, what kind of relationships we're in. If we're stuck with someone in the house that we feel like they're not positive, or they're kind of making us feel a little negative, then how do we remove ourselves from that space? These are tools that we can have in our toolbox so that we can take care of ourselves.
I just love that. Thank you. And while you were talking, I had this thought in my head of, sometimes we want to find it externally. We want to go places. We want to do this, but now we're sort of forced in our homes to really do this for ourselves. And the simplicity of something like lighting a candle, putting on some incense. I mean, those are all things that we have in our environment, right? Hopefully. Or anything that is nice, even just being outside. If you can't, if you don't have a garden, but opening your window, smelling that fresh air, things that we do have available. And I think that simplicity of the ritual and the routines is also so important, right, to really reconnect with our core selves.
Exactly, that's it. So just focusing on these little things in our life that can bring us joy, they can bring us gratitude, because gratitude and joy are the complete opposite of fear and anxiety. The only thing that takes care of fear and anxiety is joy and gratitude. And it doesn't have to be, we don't have to have everything we want and we wish to have gratitude. Gratitude can be simple, it can be in our breath. Oh my God, how amazing is it that I woke up this morning and I can breathe? How amazing is that my pet is here on the bed with me, or my child is here? What a blessing. Seeing these little things in life as joy and as complete enthusiasm, it will take away our fear and anxiety.
I just love that. I just love that. And another thing that you mentioned is like a toxicity. So it's not necessarily, you know, how we normally think of it. And I love the concept of bringing it in. What are you watching? Is it a toxic thing that you're watching? Should you be watching this? Should you be listening to this? But even in ourselves, like when our mind starts giving us negative thoughts and clearing, like, could you please speak to that? Like, what are some of the rituals that you clear physically, mentally?
Yeah, for sure. So Maybe having, I really always recommend having like a spot in your house where it's only yours. Like it can be just a little corner of your house where you set it up as your safe haven, as a place of, sacred tranquility. And you can tell your children maybe, mommy just needs some time out just for like a couple of minutes and close the door, or just having that space. For me, you can see like I have that space right behind me. I don't know if you can see it, but putting it can be a little corner table and putting in things that are meaningful to you. So for some people that might be, a statue of Jesus, or for others can be Shiva, or it can be a picture of the Dalai Lama, or whomever that you really look up to, that will, when you hear their name, it could be Mother Teresa. It's like when you hear their name or see their face, you right away remember that quality of loving awareness inside of you. Because these people are not, it's not that they're better than us or they're higher than us, but it's just the reminders of that Buddha nature. So the Buddha means you're awakened. So that we all have that. It's like a reminder that you also have this inside of you. How can you connect to that today in the simplest way? So just having that set up, maybe burning a candle there, and taking about 5 minutes to sit there and meditate. Meditation, it doesn't have to be the systematic, thing that we do. It can just be closing the eyes and watching the breath come in and out. If you don't want to sit down for 5 minutes, go for a walk. If you do have the ability in your backyard, or even in the, on your street for a few minutes to walk, and being really aware of every step you take. It's like, wow, look at my step on Mother Earth, and really slowing it down. I remember my teacher, Jack Kornfeld, he's amazing. And he's a great source for meditation and things like that to go to. But when he used to teach us walking meditation, a part of me was like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. I can't do this. This is like, I already know this. And then I would stay with it. And he would just say, go again, go for a walk again, really watch your step again. Take 10 minutes to go from this side of the hallway to that side of the hallway. And it would just drive me nuts. And then after 3 days, something would just shift. I would be like, wow, like what just happened? It's like all my anxiety went away, and I found this sense of calm. And this sense of calm is not outside of me, it's inside of me. And it took me years to really believe that it's really me. It's not all of these things. Yes, it's great to have guides and it's great to have direction, but at the end of the day, it's us. It's up to us. So yeah, so setting that up and maybe sitting or maybe walking around that reminder, and meditating, again with having all our sense organs all present and active. I also like to maybe burn some sage sometimes, and I the white sage, it has been used for thousands of years by the natives, by the Indian tradition. That they now we know that scientifically it actually kills bacteria. So they used to burn it, and it kills bacteria around the house. But they also really believe that it really clears energy. So just burning that and opening up a window so that things change, that it's all about that movement and clearing and cleansing. We can also do the same thing with our eating. So doing a small, maybe cleanse. So the foods that you're putting inside of you, taking the time to pause and allowing for that to digest, and cleansing with these beautiful herbs, or simple foods.
I love that. I love that. Now, in terms of the food, um, do you think fasting is a good idea to like cleanse? It just popped in my head. Is that a
So yes and no. In
okay?
Ayurveda, we always say it depends, because every constitution is different. So in Ayurveda, we believe that there are five great elements. So air, space, water, earth, and fire. And the entire universe is made out of these five great elements. So are we inside of us. So we all have all the five great elements, but we have some degree of some of them more than the others. So you could have a lot of fire, I could have a lot of air. And these different elements create different, basically, constitutions inside of us. So, for example, people have a lot who have a lot of air tend to be very creative. They're usually big artists. They're usually really light on their feet. They love traveling. People who have a lot of fire, they're very more like teachers and leaders and managers and politicians and doctors, and they get things done, and they're all about things being in a particular way. And people who have a lot of water element, they're more like water and earth. They're more like, those motherly figures. They like to bring everybody together. They love to cook for everyone. They love to have people over. They love to be mothers and nurturers. So if we understand our constitution properly, and we call this doshas, so if we understand our constitutional, our doshas properly, then we know what is proper for me to eat. So, for example, people who have a lot of water and earth element, because they have that stability, because water and earth are both really heavy, so they have that sense of groundedness. So if they fast, they do the intermediate fasting or something like that, it's actually really beneficial for them because they have the constitution that can support that. But people who have a lot of air could become even more airy. And then that air in the mind becomes tornado. It's like then all of a sudden all this fear and anxiety and big thoughts and insomnia settle in and they don't know why. So we always say it depends. So always going with your constitution is the best thing that you can do.
Oh, I just love that. Yes, and when you said air, I'm like, and then you float away, and then you can never find yourself again either, right?
That's exactly what happens. Yeah.
Right. And it's so important, and especially in this time for us to decide what is right for us. And I think that is something that people are starting to understand now, is that life is not a one size fit all. Whatever works for you might not work for me, might not work for another person. Now, I remember in the beginning you said that it was writing, like all of these wisdoms were written down. And I think now we are also in a space and in a time that we need to write down what these wisdoms are, these little bits of nuggets, so that for ourselves, but also for the future generations, writing. What has your experience been with journaling and writing and using that sort of as a resource?
Oh, yes. I think it's huge. It's huge. It's like it does something to not only let go of our thoughts. If we have a big pattern of thoughts, just they can't keep repeating themselves, it seems like they're not going anywhere, just pick up your journal and start writing them down. And something as simple as that, it's like therapy. It just washes away something in us. But also recently, as I have been doing it more and I've been meditating more and I have been doing my yoga more often after, 15 years of doing all this stuff, I find that, it gives me the strength to really listen to that wisdom voice inside of me. And I find it very helpful to pick up my journal and start writing down. And I swear, sometimes it's not me who's writing. It's like this other force is like all of this creativity and ideas and information is coming in. And then after I write it down, I feel so great about my decision or my plans, or even just to accept things just the way they are. So I really recommend using that. Again, connecting to the sense organs. It's like as we write, we connect to that inner self, to our Atman, to that conscious awareness that is inside of us. We see this with, even animals know this. It's like animals know if you drop a drop of honey, soon you're going to see, I tell my daughter this all the time because she does this, soon you'll see a line of ants coming towards the honey because they have that conscious awareness inside of them to follow that, joy, what brings them pleasure and joy. Now, if I put my water bottle that is hot on their way and lift it up and the floor is hot, they'll all go around it. They have that conscious awareness to go, I'll go around this hotness because I don't like that. That take me away from suffering. and take me towards joy, take me towards pleasure, which is the honey. So we, in the same way, we all do that. We all do that inside of us. So it's just reminding ourselves what that pleasure is, keeping our eyes on it and going for it and going away from that suffering.
What a beautiful analogy. And I love honey. Honey is like my one of my favorite things. So every time I'm going to eat honey, I'm going to think, like even if we have the water bottles and we have the heat, moving around it with all of our tools, it does not need to stop us from being our whole self and our holistic selves. One thing that has come up too when I'm speaking to people, especially in this time, is that everybody is looking for very practical ways to just do some self-care, some grounded. And I absolutely love this conversation that we are having. I feel like we need to do a lot more. And we will chat after to see where people can find you, Paris. But bringing it back to like what people can do in their homes today, are there any practical things that you can show us, because you are the yoga master, what we can implement starting now?
Yeah, sure. So, one of the things we can do is find our breath. That's number one, because our breath is the air element. So it brings in the energy, the life force in the air that we breathe in, and it connects us right away to our nervous system. So one of the pranayams that we use in the yoga tradition and in the Ayurvedic tradition to calm the nervous system right down is called Avalum Balloon, or nostril breathing, alternate nostril breathing. And the way we do that is with your thumb and your ring finger. If you're right handed, you can use your right hand. If you're left handed, left hand. And the two middle fingers come down. And so we block the right nostril. And the idea is that the right nostril is the yang channel of the body, is the sun of the body. We call the Surya Nadi. And then the left one is the moon of the body, is the yin energy of the body. This is also the closest connection we have to our brain, right? So it's like air comes in and goes right away to our head. So it's the fastest way we can control our mind. So by blocking the right nostril, close the eyes, relax the shoulders, and we breathe in through the left. Then we hold both nadis, both nostrils, and hold our breath, and then exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Pause, hold your breath. Exhale through the left. Inhale left. And do this with the flow of your own breath. Pause, hold, exhale right. Inhale right. Hold the breath. Exhale left. And you can do that alternate breathing for about 10 counts on each side. And it's like after just closing the eyes and really seeing how you feel. So usually it's like right away we find that not only the nostrils open up and balance the energy of yang and yin coming into the body, because usually one is working more than the other, depending on what time of the day it is. But with this, they balance themselves. Not only that, but we also balance the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain. So right away, we can bring calm into the body. So I really recommend that for people who have anxiety or they don't know what else to do. Wherever they are, they can just do the alternate breathing. Another thing they can do is child's pose in yoga. So just bringing your forehead down in between your knees and just coming to Mother Earth. It's like right away, connecting to the gravity, connecting to Mother Earth. That's really helpful too. Another thing we can do is, it's very simple. And we do this when we actually, something bad happens and we go, oh my God, But the thing is that our hand has a quality of healing. And so as we put it on our forehead, because when we're in fight or flight, all the blood goes down. So by doing this, we're bringing the blood back up because it has that force of gravity. So just holding your hand here for a few breaths. and really coming to the deepness of your breath. Or you can even bring your fingers right where your third eye would be, and then the thumbs come to the temples here, pressing the temples down and just holding your hands here as you massage the temples and breathe. It just breaks that fight or flight in our body. And it's like, no, everything's fine. Bring the energy up, you know? And so those are some simple things we can do. There's also another breathing technique. So this one, if there is something like toxic going on in our environment, or if something has happened to us and we really want to let it go, we can just bring our hands into a fist. So the thumbs come in and we hug the thumbs in, and then make a circle as you bring the arms up. Inhale, and as you exhale, you just go, you know. And any more space you have, and you can do that, you can stand up and just really go, and every time you're going exhale, you're really truly envisioning that thing leaving your body, releasing from your body. So our breath is number one. And then once we do that, then maybe we can sit in a meditation. And it can be a very simple meditation. Maybe we can do one very quickly and simply today, even. So sitting in meditation, or maybe if you feel more comfortable lying down on your back, that works too. But just we want the spine to be straight, and we want the neck to be in line with the spine, so the crown of the head comes over top of everything. Relaxing your hands on your thighs, shoulders drop back, and we just come to watch our breath. So inhaling, exhaling as you let go. Every exhalation, you get heavier. Your sit bones get more connected to the earth or to the chair, your feet on the ground. Inhale, exhale. One simple way to really come into your meditation is to count from 10 to 1. And every count, you become heavier, your muscles become heavier, your bones become heavier, and you connect more to the core of the earth. Exhaling, maybe 8. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling 7. And as you count and go all the way to 1, allow your jaw to relax, the eyes fall to the back of the head, and you just watch your breath in and out. And once you get to number 1, bring your attention to your body, your physical body, and notice how your body's feeling. Is there tightness anywhere, pain anywhere? Maybe a headache, or shoulders hurt, or the way you slept last night. And just bring your attention to that area of your body and be okay with it. Allow the pain or the throbbing or the vibrations to be there. Allow them to exist. Breathe in. Exhale. Allow them to be. Inhale. Let that sensation expand and even become more. And as you exhale, it's like you bow to that sensation. You bring your hands to your heart and say, thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for trying to show me something in my body. Thank you for taking care of me. But I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you. And then bring your attention to your mind. Notice the thoughts as well. So what are the thoughts that are present? Can you see them come and go? Meditation doesn't mean that we stop the thoughts. It means that we are able to bring our attention back to our breath every time we notice the thoughts. So if when you notice the thoughts, are you judging this right now? Are you planning for what you're going to do after you watch this video? Or maybe you're even thinking of a memory or creating a story. Just watch it come and go. Come back to your breath. And with those thoughts present as well, bringing your hands to the center of your heart and bowing to the thoughts and going, thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here, but I'm okay. I don't need your help right now. I'm going to go back to my breath. And then in the same way, bring your attention to the center of the heart and notice how you're feeling today, the emotional self. Are you feeling fear and anxiety? Are you feeling anger and frustration? Or maybe you feel love and compassion. Just notice that and allow the emotions to also be there and to expand. Just breathe into that. Give them space and maybe bring your hands to the center of the heart and bow to them as well. Thank you, emotions, for coming and trying to save me or help me. I'm okay now. You can leave. And gently coming back to the wisdom of your breath. And then slowly opening the eyes. And just knowing that you can do that anywhere at any time. You can just close the eyes and go back to that wisdom that is inside of you.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. I really saw this green. It was so beautiful and green and sparkly. So that energy is spectacular. And that is the energy that I'm going to definitely have every day. Meditation has to be a part of my routine going forward because I was good at it. And then, life happens. And then we sometimes forget to do the things that are really, really good for us. Paris, thank you so much. You have such a gift. One thing that I did think about too, or the thought that I saw while we were doing our meditation, is how nice it is that we integrate. We don't say that the pain is like not a part of me or bad, or, you really just see it, acknowledge it. And perhaps, because that's what we're trying with our journals too, is to say, what's the message? What is the message of this pain? What is the message of this emotion that you're feeling? No emotions should be the outlaw of emotions, right?
Right, exactly. Exactly. So
Just
just allowing, we're this human body, as Rumi said, is a guest house. All the emotions come and go, and we just have to invite them in, but they don't have to stay. You can just send them home.
I love that. I love that. Or to the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so incredible. Thank you so, so much. Now, are you doing this on your channel? Where can people find this incredible resource?
Yes, absolutely. If they want to follow me on Instagram, it's my first and last name. Um, and I post the stuff almost like every couple of days. Sometimes I do live yoga classes there as well. But there's also, I just started my online channel because we're all stuck at home. So a lot of my students were asking for that. So yes, I'm posting meditations as we go, as I experience these emotions as well. We're all going through this really crazy unknown time. So yeah, they can find meditations there. Yoga Nidra is really helpful, which is the yoga of sleep, which allows for our conscious awareness to come up and heal itself, restore our self inside of us. So I have a few of those as well, and then I have yoga classes.
That's amazing. And you're live streaming the yoga classes? Can people sign up for a class?
Yeah, so every day at noon, I do a live class, and then they get posted on demand as well. So if that doesn't work for you, then you can watch it later.
Oh, what a brilliant idea, right? Because I think everybody's trying to juggle everything at this point, but it is so important to still take care of our bodies and still do that. And I will post all of the links in the description below. Paris, thank you so much. This was a wonderful episode. And I hope that everybody who is watching this, find that connection back to their consciousness, back to themselves. And I'll post the website of Paris too, of all of the wonderful things that she is doing. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you so much for making my day so much better. It was
Awesome.
wonderful.
Well, namaste.
If you would like to start your own journal in alignment, find us at journalingthrough.life for your personal digital journal. Keep journaling and keep growing.